Let's talk.
Giles Brown.
Smart cars aren't just for Christmas. David Ward spent most of his life travelling the globe with travel cars and music his guiding passions. However, fate brought him together with a 2003 Brabus smart car equipped with a radio. It pushed him into the world of rallying, and then it was time to take on the smart cars. Delighted to say that David joins me live on the line now. David, good morning to you.
Morning to you. How are you?
I'm not too bad, well, let's not even go there.
Good.
Let's look at the. So, tell me a little bit about your background. I mean, have you always been a petrol head?
Yeah, from the age of 15.
Right.
It's well-known fact amongst my friends, but it cost me all my O-levels and exams. So,
fair trade, I'd say.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. Fair enough.
Yeah.
But, I mean, for those who don't know, a Brabus smart car, that's not just your ordinary smart car, that's a souped-up smart car, but they're German, aren't they, Brabus?
They are a German company. They work closely with Mercedes on a lot of their cars, like, to sort of to speed them up and make them a bit more high performance. But, they're a German-based company, and the Smart is a German car as well, so goes hand in hand.
So, what was your first what attracted you to the smart car? Because, I mean, they are, they're very small, and they're not normally known for sort of breaking the land speed record. So, what was it that attracted you? Because, like I said, you were a petrol head. You might have gone for, I don't know, an Escort Mark II or something like that. Well, why the Brabus?
Well, probably because I've done the Escort Mark II.
Oh, really? Okay.
I've had about, I think it's, last count was about 94 cars I think I've owned in my life. So I've been through a fair few of them. But it was the Smart, it was a car dealer, funny enough, next to my office. And he sort of beckoned me into his place and sort of said, have a look at this. And they were only a couple of years old at the time. So they were a bit of a novelty. And I think because of that, because they were so small and a novelty, and living sort of in London or in and around about London, I could see the attraction of just driving it around and parking anywhere and doing anything with it, really.
I can see the attraction of driving it around and parking it, but you being a petrol decided to take the ultimate tack and take it on not even street circuit racing, but rallying, competitive rallying. And what went through your grey matter on that one, David, to say what this needs to do is go, tackle a couple of humpback bridges, a couple of special stages, and let's just do the Kielder while we're at it,
It's because it hasn't been done, and because the car wasn't as quick to doing it, and because if there's a way to do it, I'd have a go at doing it, I think was the bottom line. And I've been through that with a lot of things, with a lot of cars, and it was a challenge. It was more the challenge, and possibly, I say like us all, but we're probably not like us all, but a lot of people I know, and myself, after a few drinks, you get a bit brazen with what you're going to do, and you either sort of forget about it, or sometimes you don't forget about it and have to back it up.
Right. Here's the question then. How do you lighten? How do you put a roll cage in a smart car? And also, you've got to pare down, take off an awful lot of weight. So, where do you start to make sure you're not basically driving an A4 envelope?
Neither with that, because the Smarts aren't heavy for a start, and the engines you can, with the aid of sort of computer technology, you can make them quicker by remapping them.
Right.
And they come with a built-in roll cage. Smart cars. They come with a Triton shell, which is as good as a roll cage, to be honest. I mean, there are videos around with smart cars that have been in accidents and they're virtually unscathed. The actual bodywork is like any other car, but they've got this Triton shell in them that makes them sort of like an old Volvo.
Right. I'm just thinking of the look on the scrutiny in his face when you turn up and go, he goes, where's the roll cage? And you go, it actually is the roll cage. And he goes, I'm not sure about that. I mean, because, it's smaller than a Mini Cooper, for goodness sake, one of the old ones, by the way, listeners.
Yeah.
Okay.
But no, you just get on with it. And you do get the odd one. Even with car, funny enough, I was just talking to someone this morning about that. With car clubs, there are this sort of people that do scrutinise and moan because there's the wrong nut in one of the wheels and things like that. But then you do get a lot of other ones who are equally minded and think, well, if the idiot wants to have a go, let him have a go.
So what when you rocked up in the paddock, did you drive it to the first event? Did you put it on a trailer?
Yeah.
You drove it to the first event. Okay.
Yeah.
And what's the look then on everybody else who's sitting there in their, I don't know, in their Skodas or their, you know, whatever? I mean, and you rock up in a Brabus. Do they think, you know, okay? Because I mean, there's a famous Dacia, isn't there, that's been was doing the long distance sports car events, did the Ring 24, and everybody else was like, this thing is like a mobile chicane. Now I know rallying's different, but you must have got some raised eyebrows.
No, a lot of it was getting past the gates to get in there, because a lot of them would just automatically send you to the spectator sort of car park.
Yes.
But then once the car gets known as well, and no, again, it's one of those weird things that I'd love to have a great story that having a great bust up with one of these people then proved them all wrong and what, but it wasn't. It was people sort of. I think people just thought, because it's so weird. Yeah. It's got to be right, if you know what I mean. Because no one in their right mind, if it wasn't right, would turn up and do this, you know.
So the next question is, I mean, how does it handle? I mean, if you get airborne in it, it must be is it quite interesting? You wonder when or if you're going to land?
I've got it airborne. I mean, it feels like you're flying about 400 feet, but you're only probably a couple of inches, if that, off the ground. But well, the only time we've had it, I mean, again, I had it lowered. The car's been sort of slightly lowered and messed around with, but
right.
It's as far as sort of handling goes. I mean, on the road, I think I said to him, look, you know, if you follow someone who knows how to drive a smart car, then you don't necessarily, as long as nothing's coming, you don't necessarily have to brake going into roundabouts and bends, because they are sturdy. They belie what they look like, if you see what I mean. They look as if they're sort of clumsy and tiny, and you're below everything. But it's the opposite when you drive them. Actually, they're a completely different animal. You know, they're sort of you're sitting quite high up, and they are quite sturdy into bends. And if you, I think the advantage I had was I got a touring car driver to drive it around a track once. Everyone was on a rally, and there was a touring car driver there, and there's a track, and everyone wanted to be a passenger while the touring driver took them round. But I did the opposite. I asked him to drive my car, just so that I could see, you know, what a proper driver could do with it. And that filled me with a bit more confidence in the car, the way he was taking bends and doing things in it, you know, quicker speed than I'd ever dream of doing it. And I thought, well, if the car can do it, it can certainly do it with me driving.
Yeah, I used to have a Mini 1275 GT, and the thing with that is it would stick to the road, and then it wouldn't. So you got to a certain point, and then it just went, "Hello, I'm bored now," and you know, and then you were looking at the upside, you know, the underside of a ditch or something like that. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying they weren't smart, wouldn't do it, but I mean, touch there is wood here. Touch wood. I've not had an issue with it yet. I mean, it's I mean, I've had similar experiences with the older cars, and it's the old cars without traction control, isn't it? You learn how to drive in one of them, whereas new cars, you've got the traction control and they do it all for you. But I think half the exhilaration of driving when you was younger, really. You never knew what was going to happen, did you, really?
Well, to be honest with you, driving in Spain, it's pretty much the same these days, David, I can assure you.
That's true.
So you went, you know, and you took it to Europe, and you won. Tell me more about this.
Well, that was... they still do these runs, but there were more sort of 2000 to 2013 when it became like they called them, they were races, really, and it was... supercars and...
not the cannonball or the gumball.
Yeah, that's it, the cannonball.
Oh, blimey. Yeah, I know that lot. Yes, indeed.
Yeah,
yes.
And so it was entered into that, and again, same thing. You turn up and they sort of go, the cars are over there, you can park there, and the thing, and you go, no, we're in it. And and that was again, we got 125 mile an hour out the smart car in France.
Okay.
And that was with two adults and a luggage as well. So
two adults screaming presumably at the time, or just putting all sorts of facial expressions.
No, it was Will. Adrian, who I do a lot of these silly things with, he was trying to get a photo of the Speedo so we could prove we got it off the clock. And then we decided we were running out of road, but. That was good, and everyone put it down to the petrol consumption. They said, "Oh, because you're in a smart car, you don't have to stop for petrol so much, and you don't have to do this, and you don't." And we played along with that to a certain extent, but it wasn't, because you know, if you're in a 700cc car, you're revving a lot at sort of 100 mile an hour.
Is that all it is? 700cc?
Yeah, 700cc turbocharged. But I say, they de-restrict them for when they build them, because they have to do it for their, you know, the tax reasons and whatever. So and like anything else, there's always someone who knows what to do, and you can get them de-restricted. So it goes from a sort of a 90 horsepower car. I mean, mine at the moment is 120, I think, at the moment.
How much does it weigh?
Off the top of it, I don't know, but it's still more. I mean, I've had a motorbike engine in it as well, Hayabusa engine, which is 200 brake horsepower.
Yes.
That's not worth doing at all, because you realise the folly of that when you live in East London and Essex, that you can't really use a motorbike engine car.
Yes. Now tell me, also, not only that one, but the reason I'm smiling is two reasons. One of my mate had a trike. And he went from Land's End to John O'Groats on a trike because he's got MD, right? So he could sit on the thing with his girlfriend on the back of it. It's a Volkswagen trike, so therefore it's got the front of a chopper, listeners, and the back is a Volkswagen Beetle. However, you've got another friend has just bought a beach buggy, and you too have indulged in the beach buggy as well.
Yeah.
Which, it's not really easy for the UK. My mate throws his proverbials off, but tell me a little bit more about doing Europe in a beach buggy.
Well, that was a follow-up to when we won the Cannonball. You win the following year free. They let you, enter for free because you won the previous year.
Right.
And again, being short of a Ferrari or Lamborghini, we sort of looked around, and I saw this beach buggy for sale up in Scotland, in Glasgow. So I just bought it off of eBay and drove it back and sat in the garage for 10 months, and then off we went on the Cannonball in that. And but we decided to do it in appropriate dress as well. So it's all 1970s, sort of. I had a purple velour suit or crushed velvet suit and a great big fedora hat when we started, obviously. But that became that was probably one of the best road trips I've ever done in a perverse way, because we got drenched in rain. Then we broke down in Germany. Then we were on the road solidly for 39 hours on the first leg. All the other cars had finished in about sort of 12, 13 hours. But this beach buggy had a top speed of 50 and kept breaking down. But saying that, we met some brilliant people. We had a fantastic afternoon in Croatia in a bar where the guy who was fixing our beach buggy in the morning sort of got it fixed, gave him some money for fixing it, and decided to take us for a drink with his mates in a bar. So we ended up staying in Croatia for a lot longer than what we thought, which we'd never have done if we were in a normal car. And just driving around in a metallic purple beach buggy around Europe, the reactions from people were great. Italy was brilliant. Cars were stopping and people waving. And it was just a bit weird, really. It felt like sort of royalty or something.
Here's the thing, though, 'cause it's all very well getting something that looks like a little bit different and, okay, it's going to be fun, dressing appropriately, but that's an awful lot of miles. And with the greatest of respect, the 1972 beach buggy isn't exactly a grand touring car, is it? So, it must have been very uncomfortable.
It was, yeah, on a whole host of reasons. I mean, you're open to the weather as well. So we was up in the Alps, so it was cold even in July when we was doing it. Got drenched in rain. Obviously, I was going to say the wind sort of from the speed, but we weren't really going that fast. So, the seats were just these two rickety sort of seats that you get in a beach buggy. But you sort of grow into it. I think you're either going to sort of do about a couple of hours in it, turn around and go home, or you just think, right, we'll just get on and do this. And I think the whole sort of weirdness of the thing, driving it on motorways, driving it on the Autobahn, driving it through Austria, driving it through Croatia and things like that was... You tended to forget about the uncomfortableness in the end, and it became sort of almost second nature, really. You just got in the car and off you went. And I don't think there's ever a time I looked at anyone in a Ferrari or a Aston Martin and thought, I'd sooner be you, on that particular race anyway.
I suppose the thing is, though, the problem is, the people who've got the Lamborghinis, the supercars, and we do get quite a few of these rides come through because we're based in Marbella, so therefore it's a natural stop-off point. But they just, it's almost like they've bought, you get, drivers who buy their drive. So they haven't got that, if you like, that connection, because they're just, people who've got, okay, I've got a spare whatever, I'll buy the Maserati, the Lamborghini, or the Ferrari, and they don't know, previous to that, perhaps their only experience of car is playing GT or whatever, Gran Turismo. So they don't have that sort of seat of the pants, excuse the expression, relationship with the car, that you have, because you've got smart car, you've rallied the Brabus, and also you're ricketing around because you are sort of real motoring, aren't you?
Yeah, that actually, I took another smart car when I did the northernmost point in Europe to the southernmost point in Europe. And there was I ran across the Gumball Rally in Montenegro. They were in Montenegro and I arrived in Montenegro. And what actually was poignant for me was that they were coming up through Albania, and I was going to go back down through Albania into Greece, and then there's a little island off of Crete called Gavdos, which is the southernmost point. And the next morning, they all sort of got up, all the cars were revving and blah, 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 and off they went up to, I think they were going up to Venice or something. But all these cars go roaring off, about 140 of them there were. They all go roaring off in one direction. And then I just sort of quietly got into my little smart car and headed south in the opposite direction. And I thought, that's almost how my life's gone with that. Because, you know, back in the 2000s, I'd have been in that big group of people going off. Probably not in the same cars, but part of that whole sort of circus. Whereas now I'm going the other way quietly on my own, driving through Albania where, you know, 140 supercars would just come the opposite direction. And I thought, well, that's the way my life's going, really, you know, like with cars and adventures, that type of thing.
The thing is, though, and here's the thing, and you'll have seen this, it's like when, you know, I mentioned the Dacia that took part in the endurance season, I think it was last season or season before, but, you know, after a while you get a bit sort of bland, you know, with a supercar, because, you know, if you've got 140 of them going off and they're all going, you know, they're all pumping out NMNM and whatever, or trying to be fast and furious, and you're going the other way, in a smart car, in a Cinquecento, or in a classic Healey, then people are going to go, that's a bit different, and you know, the way you said that people will get, was an amazing reaction. If you rock up in a bells and whistles Lamborghini pumping out, I don't know, MC whatever, you know, with your shades on, people are going to go, oh, for goodness sake, you know. However, if you're there with something a little bit different, people are going to stop and say, you know, do you need this? Do you need that? You know, do you need something cleaning on it, you know? Yeah,
and I think when I did particularly the Europe trip from like the North Cap down to Gavdos, what I also did with the Smart, I deliberately covered it in... I made it aware that it was there, even though it's a little car, but I did a big orange stripe on it and a few sort of sponsor stickers. So it was getting away from the fact that people were seeing a little car with all these stickers on it arriving, but it was like a little car on its own. You know, it wasn't part of this big thing. And that helps because people then instinctually will look or come and talk to you about it. And so you're breaking the ice everywhere you go on a sort of a one-to-one level rather than a big sort of cumulative, you know, we're all here and everyone sort of stands off a bit, don't they? But, yeah, I mean, a testament to that is I've got a little mini moke that I take into London. And when I take that into London, I can park up next to the Lamborghinis, the Ferraris, and everyone looking at the moke and not the Lamborghinis and Ferraris around Harrods and places like that when I take the moke in there. It's just a brilliant day out, that is.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, absolutely. Yeah. You know what I was saying? Moking is not a wealth hazard. That used to be the sticker. What is it? Is it the white moke? Is it the cream moke? What colour is it?
No, the green. Yeah,
the green.
It's the typical green one. Yeah. But that's I don't take it in a lot, but when I do,
yeah, but the thing is, if you go in a moke, and anybody who's driven a moke or something like that, they used to do a 127 Fiat down here called Seat, and they tried to moke it, and I used to borrow one, and it used to be great fun because you are very low to the ground, and you know it is like, you know, it's a bit like a go-kart on steroids, and you can throw loads of people in the back, and you always get some good looks. What, you know, from people passers by. What? I'm just thinking about, did you have to go up by the Alps or any mountain range in the Brabus? And how did that handle it?
Yeah, we did Pyrenees, and that went quite well. Apart from that, was another sort of strange experience, but that was just was climbing and then behind we could see this car approach off, looked like a car, and then all of a sudden it was just this white Peugeot van, like one of these big sort of like, you know, the bigger vans. Yeah. And this thing just went, you know, it was like a local driving this van, and we thought we were doing well going up the mountain in this Smart at the speeds we're doing. And he just sort of cruised past us, and we got looking in utter amazement, like, bloody hell, yeah. But that's knowing the road, knowing the area,
exactly
what they're doing. But it was just one of those things. It's another little humbling thing in a way, because we thought we was doing really well, and look at us, and then this sort of like white Peugeot van just goes past you, just standing still.
Well, you remember the Top Girl girl, the brilliant German female drivers along with us, and she used to do the ring. She used to do the ring in a white van, didn't she? And absolutely cream everybody.
Yeah. It's just I think this guy. I wouldn't say, but he just must have do that route every day, or you know, quite often, and just knew when to brake, when to go around the bends, and there's us sort of.
So when did the theory come then to put it out all down in a book? Do you think, you know, I must write it? Because I mean, you know, it is a great little book, and there are so many good tales, and anybody who's got a passing interest in cars will like it.
I think it just seemed a natural thing to do. Actually, once I'd done it. I've got to be honest, when I wrote it, and it was only when I finished writing it, I actually sat back and looked at myself and thought, God, I can't believe I've done that. I can't believe I've done this. Because I think it's a good sort of reflection, because you do these things, and I do anyway, and I just do them. I don't, as I say in the book, I don't really plan, and I honestly don't plan a lot of these things. And a lot of these things I fire from the hip. So I sort of say, I'm going to go and do this.
Yeah.
And then I end up doing it to convince myself that, or to say to yourself, well, you said you're going to do it, you've got to do it. And doing the book, I think it was just really started by, again, just putting a few notes down, 3 more notes down, and then looking at old photos, because the phone's brilliant for that now, aren't they? You've got all your own photos. And I was looking at those, and then I suddenly started writing about it, and it all started to come together. And then, the whole thing with the car as well, it's a car that I'll never ever sell. I've got it insured for the lowest value you can get it insured, just to make it legal on the road, because God forbid if it breaks, it gets in an accident or someone nicks it.
Yeah.
I'm never ever going to replace it. So there's no point me, sort of, as long as I'm legal on the road, that's the insurance. But it was more testament to that. And then, of course, from that came the little beach buggy adventure and just the silly things with the smart. It's almost like, it's like a pet.
Take it out for a walk. Take it out for a walk in the park once a day, and go. Yeah,
I do actually. I take it for a drive, because I mean, if I go into London, I take it in quite a lot. But I really go into London. Well, I don't go in as much as I used to, far from it. But I still sort of. And there's silly little things about when it was on telly, and the car broke down, it was playing up, but on the day, when it came to filming, the car was perfect. It's almost like the car knew it had to get itself together for it. And I know it sounds mad, and I do sound mad when I speak to people about the Smart, but I still use it. I mean, I was out in it yesterday, and I'll be out in it over the weekend.
You see, this. If you're a car lover, I absolutely get this. I absolutely get this, David. I completely know where you're coming from. The book is. I could talk to you about this until next Friday, but unfortunately, I'm going to run out of time. The book is called "Smart Cars Aren't Just for Christmas." It's by David Ward. David, can people follow you on Instagram? I mean, where can people find you? Where's the socials?
Well, it is. I'm on the. It's broken with the. I think it's that. What's that little line? Not the hyphen, but the small
underscore.
Line. Underscore, yes, broken_compass_travels.
Broken Compass Travels. You can order the book via our own virtual bookstore. Dave, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you for yours. Yeah, thank you.